Regulators. We regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good, too. But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Okay, well, we had a clinic on our fob where the locals could come and get medical treatment. We like to work through indigenous population, and it's just, you know, really to help out the local populace, and of course show them that the Americans are here to help. So that was the point.
Well, on the roof, it was Lance, me, Jasper, and Matt.
We're all laying on our stomachs.
All on our stomachs, yeah.
And then you hear these rustlings going through the trees, and then boom, explosion starts going. So
it was multiple grenades that went off.
First barrage.
But I know that I just took massive amounts of shrapnel to the legs, and so I'm thinking nothing hurts. Still, I'm not feeling any pain yet, and I'm thinking to myself like, I gotta get off this roof. Well, I look over at Lance, and Lance is looking back at me like, "What do you?" And he asked me, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, I want to leave. Like, I want to get off of this roof. Like, anywhere would be better than this roof right now. You know?
He just like bullied me off the roof.
Bullied him.
And by bullying, he means that another grenade went off at my feet while he's trying to mess around with finding the proper way down and junk. And I look at him and just scream like, "Just go!" And so he didn't argue. He didn't put up a fight.
I just let go.
He just let go.
I was falling like the guy.
Drop.
I was falling like the guy on Black Hawk Down, like reaching back for the roof.
As he's falling, he falls, and I'm looking over the edge, and he gets like enveloped by this cloud of dust so much that I can't really make him out down there anymore.
So I jumped up and ran, and when I went back to tell the docs the story, what I could remember, the guy was like, you fell off a 20-foot roof and you got up and ran? I was like, yeah, I got up and ran. I'm pretty sure I know I did that.
That was Lance's second Purple Heart in 2 months in Afghanistan, and he still didn't get to come home with us. Yeah. Oh man, I took like a through and through, right in the armpit, blew out my pec, tricep, and it felt like someone ran up behind me and hit my arm with a sledgehammer. It wasn't that bad. It sounds really, but because everything kind of just went numb afterwards. It was like when you hit your finger with a hammer, and then right when I get up, I remember seeing right in between Matt's legs was a grenade, and I was just like, you know, like in a cartoon when like the bubbles pop up, and it was just like FML. You know, I was just like. At that point, it must have been like maybe half a second, but it felt like a lifetime. I was like, I guess I'm just gonna eat this one, which I did.
When I first get the notification that we have wounded, yeah, it's pretty rough. You know, especially since I know most of the company.
First question's always,
well.
Who is it?
Yeah,
You know?
that's always my first question.
If you don't like the guy, then it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares?
He'll drop himself back. You don't have legs anymore.
I mean, I came in and it was like, Jeremy? Oh, man. Is Jasper okay?
Yeah. It's always it's just pretty rough. You know, you don't want any of your buddies to get hurt. You accept that that's an expectation.
Even in the CCP,
I remember laughing hysterically.
Oh, dude, we were cracking jokes. Okay, there is all-out fighting happening right outside of this door. So all-out fighting, like
we're bleeding out.
My rear end is just straight peppered with shrapnel, and my knee is blown out. Like my knee physically doesn't function anymore. But these cats are laughing at me in pain. So we go get on this medevac bird, which comes in going to take us out of there. So we go get on this bird. Well, we had to stop right before it lands. It lands in this little paddy, like this little field, like 50 meters from the house that we were in, the compound that we were in.
Yeah, they cut off our pants. They don't show you this in war movies. If you're running through to a medevac helo, you're more than likely half naked. So if you looked at us from the waist up, we would look like professional. Soldiers.
And then you look from the waist down, and it's party time.
Yeah.
My name's Amanda, and I'm married to Mike, and my son Caden is 4.
Do you know where Mike is right now?
Afghanistan.
What are you excited to do when he gets back?
Play to leave with him. Yeah, he said in the beginning, he was like, oh, I feel really bad I'm not there and stuff, but it's his job, so he's not being a superhero, you know? I'm due in about 6 weeks, so he'll be home for about 6 weeks of it.
Right now we're going in to go see Mike come home, and cause he's just coming home from Afghanistan, and we're gonna go see how he's doing.
I mean, I hate to like do the whole what if thing. Like, what if the bird hadn't landed? There is a very strong chance that it would not have turned out as good as it did.
You did come. What's up?
How you doing? And you got them to land the helos though.
And they land. I mean, seriously,
they shouldn't have landed.
It was hot, man. And they came in. They came in quick. We got on that bird quick, and they took off quick. And I mean, every weapon system on that bird was going like they should not have landed. So the last guy on the bird is the guy that actually closest to the edge of the aircraft. Well, Aaron was that guy. I see Aaron with this machine gun. He drops to a knee and is just squeezing the trigger. And that machine gun is pumping, and he is pushing rounds into it with the other, and just dropping his arm down, letting the rounds off, and just going to town. And I remember seeing it. It was like a movie. It was all happening slow motion. But I'm all crooked underneath, like sucking the floor of this Chinook, and looking out the back of the aircraft and watching this like real life Rambo flick unfold. But every hospital we were in was a complete riot. Like the nursing staff was for the vast majority of the time was like, they were awesome.
There was this sergeant that came in our room one day because we had a no pants party sign on our door. She comes in here, you know, it's like 6 in the morning. She wakes us up. Hey gentlemen, this is still the military. And I'm looking, I just woke up like, what happened? And then Matt goes, who brought the no fun party animal in here?
Some of my buddies at the hospital, the PTs that were there, had called me and said, hey, your guys, we're kind of having some issues with them. You know, they're either, I thought in the past it's been like, oh, they're too demanding, they want to do too much and not listening to people. It's like, no, that's not it. It's just they're not wearing their pants. They refuse to wear pants when we come in. They call it naked PT. From a rehab perspective, attitude is everything. If guys believe they're going to get better and they have a positive attitude about stuff, they will get better. I mean, almost despite what we do sometimes. The guys that I'm able to work with here are just incredible. They've got the best attitude. They got good sense of humor about everything. The biggest complaint has been like, I can't go back soon enough. It's not, I'm not getting back fast enough or whatever. They want to get back to the team life, or get back to what they used to be able to do.
All right, being Special Forces operators, we still try to keep up on our skill sets. Jeremy here will be disassembling and reassembling an M4, and since I have one arm out of commission, I will be doing the Rubik's Cube.
And I'm actually going to be disassembling and reassembling an M4 carbine rifle blindfolded. Go. Yeah, so life after has been kind of, I don't know, it's just unique. There's a lot of stuff that happened like a very short period of time, you know. So I got injured. It takes us like what, 2 weeks or something to get back here, or 2 weeks before we get discharged from the hospital till you go back home to real life. Well, like in that time, less than 2 weeks from our point of injury, like my wife has our first kid. You know, I went from like Afghanistan, whole life's in Afghanistan, like room, all my gear, everything, to being injured, coming home with just like a backpack full of stuff. And then from there, being a father for the first time ever. And not only being a father, but like, I don't have the personality of a father. Like I never like babysat or anything. Like I held a baby for like 7 minutes of my entire life prior to actually having my own baby, you know? And so it was just all really, a lot of new stuff happening like all at the same time, you know? I got this kid that's screaming all the time, like all through the night and junk, waking up all the time. And then, but I'm hurting everywhere, changing bandages, having appointments that I can't drive myself to. It was weird, man, at first. But slowly as it continued on, like as the days like morphed into weeks, and after a few weeks it all got better. Like the kids started sleeping better, I started hurting less, I started getting more mobile. All this stuff that happened is just another example of how God can take something that was meant for such evil and something that was so horrible and turn it around to make something like gorgeous out of it.
I'm just happy you and Matt got injured to keep me company. Like, it would have been boring. Just a bunch of regular guys that get into firefights and cooperate in third world countries.
And we have great friends, family, and a lot of history.
We're just a bunch of regular guys that are too hot to handle and too cold to hold. Cool as ice and twice as nice. And if you see us coming, you better step aside. A lot of men didn't, and a lot of men died. Deuces.
Regulators. We regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good, too. But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Regulators! Mount up. It was a clear black night. A clear white moon worn G is on the streets trying to consume some skirts for the east so I could get some foes rolling in my ride. Chilling on my own, just hit the east side with the, it all makes sense, man. Regulators.